Welcome back to Morning Coffee, everybody. Thanks for watching and tuning in here to the Radio Vision Network. I am Mark Cook, and I'm excited because I have one of the top personal financial consultants and bankruptcy attorney on the Skype line with me right now. Good morning, Michelle Gershfeld. How are you today?
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with me today because we got a lot of important stuff to talk about. And look, it's something that most people avoid. They avoid it like, the plague. And that's their credit score. Let's really try to help people today with understanding their credit scores, how it affects so much more than they think, and all that. So, Michelle, where do we get started with all this?
Where do we get started? Well, the first thing is check your own credit score. So go to annualcreditreport.com. It's free. And get your credit report. That's not your score, I'm sorry, that's your report. So first thing is to get your credit report. There are 3 different agencies. So you can get all 3 if you've never done it before. It's a soft inquiry. So no one's gonna hurt, it's not gonna hurt your credit to check that score yourself.
Yeah, that's a big myth.
Thing is just go to annualcreditreport.com and pull down your credit report.
So, yeah, that's a big myth. Like, checking your report does not lower your score. And, I know that that you're not affiliated with any of the websites. So you're saying that which one is the best one to go to check?
Annualcreditreport.com.
Annualcreditreport.com. That's the one you want to go to.
It's the real one that's sanctioned by the government. So that will bring you to the sites of the 3 credit bureaus.
Okay, cool.
And then you will have to put in personal information. You will have to put in your social security number. You will have to put in, they'll ask a few identifying questions, usually related to your mortgage or rent expenses. So expect that. That's how they verify that it's you.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do something for identity purposes, and that's kind of a big thing with the credit scores is the identity kind of aspect to it, right? I mean, that's...
Right, actually, right. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be able to get that report right away. It'll be right away done. It's incredible how things are now done in real time.
Yeah.
But the very first thing on the credit report is identifying information, and people often skip over that part because they want to get right to the meat of it. And I want to tell you, look at that part very carefully because, for example, if there's an address on that report that's not yours, that might mean that someone's getting ready to scam you because they're letting that address be known as your address. So credit card offers may be going to that address in your name, and you want to know about it, and you want to take those addresses off.
Wow, I had no idea that type of scenario can occur. So, I mean, I could be going in to check my report and actually see things that are signs of identity theft.
Absolutely, of course, that's such a big part of it. That's where these companies that say, oh, we're going to check your report, pay us $20 a month and we'll let you know if there's anything fishy going on. If you actually check your report every 4 months, so if you use one agency every January and one agency every April, and so that every 4 months you're checking with a different agency, you're actually doing that job for free for yourself. And you will yourself identify if anyone has done anything that is wrong. And you don't have to pay an agency $20 a month to check your credit report. You can do it yourself.
Oh, that's funny. So that's really all those services do. Or they just do something that people could be doing themselves. They just maybe aren't aware of it or don't know how. That's really great advice. Check your credit score.
And the thing is that you can do it yourself. If, however, you have been a victim of identity theft, then I would say those services may be very helpful because now you're already vulnerable. But if you're average person living, you don't need to start making things where you have to pay subscriptions when there's no problem there.
Yeah, and I kind of want to put this question to you in a different way. So I'm gonna tell you that I pay my bill on time. I keep low balances. I try to do everything that I should do. The right things with my credit cards and all that stuff. I don't check my score very often, but I'm about ready to go buy a new car. What do you think? I should be good, right? Because I pay on time and I don't carry a big balance. So I'm cool, right?
Right. Well, that's what people tell me every day. I don't have to check my score. It's great. I'm awesome. I'm in great shape. No, of course you have to check it. Check it. It's free.
Yeah.
Go and check that score before you go into the car dealership because, hey, we didn't get to the meat of it yet. I'm just talking about if your address is wrong. But then you're going to go through the report and you're going to see, well, maybe there's something that somebody who has your name or similar to your name created a debt, it's not yours. Or there's something that somebody else has debt and it's your social security number off by 1 digit. So it's on your report and it's being held against you, but it's not your debt. Well, it's your responsibility, individual, to go and make that change. You have to report that to the credit union, the credit agency and bureaus. They're not going to tell you that you've got a problem on your score. Only you know that. So even if you hire some outside agency to look at your report, they don't necessarily know if there's something there that's wrong. And here's the other thing. When you're going to look for your car, this credit report is so great that it tells you when there's something that's about to go off. So hey, if you had some problems 6.5 years ago, maybe you ran out on a lease and the guy never chased you, so you thought you were done with it. Well, that actually may show up on your credit report, but it will also say that this is about to drop off in maybe April 2017. So if you see that on the report, right, Mark, and it says it's going to go off in April, can you wait until May to buy that car when that negative mark is not going to count against you? Because that might save you literally tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what car you buy. And I hope you're not buying one that will charge you that kind of money. But my point is, if you look at the report yourself, correct any errors, see when things are about to drop off. So, and sometimes it might be a late payment. And that brings me to my point that your timely payments make up 35% of your credit score.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Say that again.
Your timely payments make up 35% of your credit score. So you don't want to be the one saying, I'm going on vacation next week. I don't want to look at these bills. I want to go and feel good about it. I'll just pay the late fee when I get back. Does that sound like something people would do?
Absolutely.
I'll just pay that $35,
Yeah.
right? What do I care?
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
going on vacation. I don't want to look at those bills.
Right.
Okay. So, but it doesn't only cost you the $35. It costs you the $35 plus now that's a negative strike on your credit report for 7 years. 7 years.
One late payment?
One late payment. Right.
Wow.
And that's going to hurt you. So, and they're not, not just that one late payment, but if they accrue. And here's the other thing. If, hey, you know what, there was one late payment, but usually I am always on time, call up the credit card company or whoever it was you were late with. Explain that there was some glitch. If you only do it once, quite often they'll waive it. But if you don't ask for it, you won't get it.
Right.
So that's another situation of you have to ask. You have to make sure that you're on top of it. So you might not even realize that there's a late payment. But if you do what I say and go and check your credit report right now and you see, oh my gosh, Victoria's Secret said I paid that, I was late in, I don't know, July, and I know I was on time. Well, you know what? Here's your opportunity to say, I was on time. Let me get this fixed. Send in the proof that you were on time, or call Victoria's Secret and say, hey, look, I've been your client for all these years. There was some error with the mail. I don't know, whatever your error was,
Yeah.
if there was an error, and you may be able to unwind that. But again, only you're going to be able to do that, and only you're going to be the one who's going to find out that there's a problem if you do this. Otherwise, you go to the car dealership, you pick out your car, you know everything you want in that car, you negotiate the price even, and you sit there waiting for the finance manager to decide what your interest rate is going to be.
Yeah.
Now, you need to know walking in. And hey, you might want to go to your local bank, or a credit union is often a really good place to go, and say, I'm looking to buy a car. Can you pre-approve me based on my great credit score? So that now when you walk into the dealership, they're not getting your interest money. All that they're getting is the sale of the car. And that is probably in your best interest.
Yeah.
But here's the last thing I want to say about that. Don't buy a new car.
All right. But you got to elaborate on that, please.
Well, if you just look at how much money people spend on new cars and how little money they have saved for retirement and, the things that they really want, all of this money, it's just an insane amount of money is going to these new cars, which we all know lose 30% of their value the second you drive them off the lot. These days, there are these great pre-owned certified deals, and I'm not a car salesman,
right.
obviously. But I want you to go and buy a used car and not, spend another $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000, and now they're taking these loans for 7 years. I mean, and paying just insane interest. And if you can really sit down and look at your money and what you're working so hard for, and look on paper, call me, and let's look on paper together at the actual money you have to earn to buy that new car versus the actual money you'll have to, save if you buy a used car. I mean, it's just incredible because the interest is very high, and what is it that you're getting if you can be comfortable driving a safe pre-owned car for a fraction of the cost. I mean, do you really have that much money? If 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck,
yeah,
there are a lot of people that are spending money that they shouldn't be spending, and I want to be the voice of reason.
Well, listen, I appreciate that. You're making me feel like a very smart person. About a month ago, I just purchased a certified pre-owned car. I did not opt for the new car, though some people were pushing me in that direction. So, so I'm good. I'm good there with the certified pre-owned, baby. I love it.
So how much did you save? Did you look at the numbers? What was the difference? May I ask?
It was big. The number was big. It was a big number that I saved. I'd rather not get into the specifics.
Okay.
But yeah, it was.
Big. Everybody, do you hear that? Big, really big.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I did a little bit of research, and I knew what I wanted, and I didn't want to get locked. I knew that I was going to have a much better chance of getting the good deal on a certified pre-owned versus getting a new car. It's just how it was going to work out for me, and I think that most people would be in a better position if they considered the certified pre-owned rather than going for that new car payment right off the bat and taking out a big loan for it.
Right. It's really just incredible.
Yeah, Michelle, we got to take a quick break here, but I want to remind everybody, and they can see it down there on the bottom of your half of the screen there. GetFinanciallyFit.com is how you're going to get all the information about Michelle, and she's just great. If you have any questions about credit scores or anything else, personal finance for that matter, get in touch with Michelle, and she's going to be able to help you out. So, Michelle, I'm going to take a quick break now. You're going to hang through with me, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Great. So we'll be right back, folks, here on the Radio Vision Network. Stay right there.
Sub some sizzle. This is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717 extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee, everybody, right here on the Radio Vision Network. Thank you again for tuning in, and I've got Michelle Gershfeld on the Skype line with me, and we're talking about some really interesting stuff about credit scores and stuff that you absolutely need to know to make sure that you're on top of your credit score, because it affects so much in your life that you have no idea. So, Michelle, in that first segment, we were talking about checking your credit score and what sites to go to. While that was happening, we got a message from Mary. Mary's down in Maryland, and she had a question about annualcreditreport.com. That was the website you had mentioned, right?
Right.
She wants to know, can she keep going back to get the report, say, every month? Or, like, once she gets the report, can she just keep going back to access it, or is there like a time limit? Is there like a usage limit or whatever on it?
Okay, excellent question. And hi, Mary. I'm so glad you're listening, and everybody else. Thank you. I think that's a great question, and I'm sorry I wasn't clear about it. You can get one free credit report per credit bureau agency per year. So what I was trying to say is, for example, if you every year go to TransUnion's site in January, you would put that in your calendar. So every January you would go to that site. And then there's Equifax. So maybe you would do that in May. Every May you would check the Equifax report. And then in September you would check, now I lost it. The third one.
It's not Experian, right?
Yeah, Experian.
It
Exactly.
is Experian.
Exactly,
Okay.
Experian. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know where I pulled that out of, but
So every year you get one for free. But if there are any problems with it, and you're going to note that right away, again, when you do this, you'll be able to look at it right away. You'll be able to respond online to say, hey, this isn't right. For example, maybe you settled a debt with a creditor, and part of the settlement agreement was that they were going to remove the negative mark from your credit report. And now you're looking at it and you see, you know what, they didn't remove it. I settled with them, and that was part of the settlement agreement. Now you can provide proof, and you load that right up onto your computer on a PDF, and you send that in, and they have to respond within 60 days. So if there are any problems or anything questionable, you have the opportunity now to make a complaint, and then the creditor has 60 days to respond. And hey, sometimes they don't respond. So a really great time actually to do this kind of investigation is right now. And certainly if you lodge a complaint between, say, right around Thanksgiving to Christmas, the end of the year, there are really less people working, not so busy. So it's a good time to maybe get some changes made to your credit report, because the agencies are overwhelmed and not necessarily having the staffing to do all of the diligence that they might do, say, when they're less busy.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify this. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but if I go to annualcreditreport.com, that's going to give me all three at once, and I can only do that once a year.
Well, no, you can check. It's gonna pop up 3 boxes for each of the 3.
Oh, okay. So I can. Okay.
But that's an excellent question.
Yeah.
So if, in fact, you've never done it before, you might want to do all 3 at once to start, and then kind of tamper back so you can do the every 4-month thing. Because they all do get different information. They pull from different sources. So you do want to make sure all 3 are accurate, but then you want to get it on a system where you're doing it, the every 4-month basis. And sometimes they say it's annual credit report, so you get it once a year. But I certainly have known people who have gone into the system before the year was up, and they were able to access it. So it might say no, it might allow you. I don't think it'll allow you to do it every month, but it might certainly allow you to do it more than every year.
Right, and look.
And there again, when you report something, anything that you want fixed, then you're going to get a new updated amended report after that. So So in that way, you'll get another report before the year is up, and you'll be able to see what's going on. So if you're perfectly happy with it, great, that's perfect. At least you know.
Right.
And if you're not happy with it, you will get the amended report, and that will, that will clean things up for you. And you will see. And we were talking about credit reports. Credit scores now are very often reported along with your credit card statement, so you can get your FICO score. And if you take some of these steps and make some of these changes, and I have, a few more tips to add, you will watch your credit score increase. So here's another tip. So we talked about 35% is based on paying on time. So that's like, don't lose by default. That's 35% of your score, pay on time.
Right.
And pay it full. Because if you pay partial, that doesn't count. That counts as a late fee, a late mark again.
Right.
So you have to pay the minimum amount, the full minimum amount.
At
now,
least.
Of course, I don't want you to have any debt. I don't want you paying anything like that. But 30% of the card is based on your ratio of debt to credit. So, for example, if you have $10,000 worth of credit cards, they only want to see you spending 30% of that credit. That's what will result in the highest score. So on my example of 10,000, across all of your cards, you don't want to be owing more than 3,000. What? What? I thought I had to have a big limit. No, actually that hurts you.
Okay.
You want to stay in that 30% or less zone. That will give you the best credit. So credit score. So we want to make sure that, we're not maxing out the cards. And there's a whole nother story with that.
Yeah.
But people don't know that, and they think, and then 10% of the score is based on your history. So here's another one. People say, oh, I'm so happy I finally got myself out of debt. All I've been doing is paying. I haven't been doing anything but pay my debt. And now I've gotten myself out of debt, and I'm going to cut that card up and discontinue it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Keep the card. Cut it up. Put it in your freezer. Throw it out. I don't care.
Right.
But don't tell the credit card company to discontinue that card now that you've so beautifully finished paying it off and it's zero. The fact that you have a long history with that card will help your score. If you cut it off, you had that card since 2000. Well, now you just got rid of this great 16-year history of having that card. That's another mistake people make.
This is the greatest conversation ever. I did that also recently, and I still have that card. I didn't get rid of it. It's just, I transferred the balance out of it, and they keep sending me like these checks that I should write against my credit card. I shred them. I get them and I laugh and I shred them every time, and I'm like, I'm not using it. I just paid you off, pal. That's it. I'm done with you. But I'm not closing the account.
Right. You're right. You're so right.
Yeah. So listen, and I want to make sure, I was really happy that Mary sent us that message, and Keith told me that we actually got a few other messages. So listen, for anybody out there, if you have any questions, go to getfinanciallyfit.com and you can contact Michelle directly. She's got a contact form right on there, and you can ask her anything. I would prefer it to be about like credit scores or financial services, but hey, if you got a life question for Michelle, she'd be happy to entertain it.
I certainly would. And as I mentioned last time when we spoke, I do provide a 20-minute complimentary session. So if anybody wants to call me, I will talk to you for 20 minutes and you can pick my brain, and there's no charge.
Yeah, and look, Michelle is one of the top bankruptcy attorneys in, I would say, the East Coast. I mean, that's not really a stretch for me. I know that you're up in New York, so, right? I'm in Jersey, you're in New York. It's an East Coast thing. So she offers so many different services, and she's got that law background that you guys need to get in touch with her. You actually do a really cool program with millennials. You want to make sure that young people have their money taken care of too. And you talk about credit scores for these kids that are coming out with so much debt. I mean, this all works really well together, doesn't it, Michelle?
It is all a puzzle that nobody has the pieces all together. Nobody has the rule book for the game. I have all of the tools. I have all of the knowledge, and I want to share it with you, and I want to help you make the right decisions. So we talked about having a great credit score and doing all of these things to have a good score, and what can we do to improve the score, and how does that work? And I want to say, on the other side of that coin, if everything in your life is about paying debt and paying your bills, and you feel like, I have a great credit score, I don't want to ruin that credit score, so I have to keep paying this debt that's weighing me down, and I'm not sleeping at night, and I'm never going to pay it off, and what am I working so hard for? Well, then the flip side of that coin is maybe the credit score is not that important, and maybe it's time to start negotiating some of that debt away so that you can use your new hard-earned money for your future.
Yeah, do I know anybody that will be able to help me out with that?
Me.
Perfect. You see what I did there? That was look, and look, there's so many people that are in that boat that a very simple conversation with Michelle can really ease your mind and help you sleep a little bit more at night. Because look, I think that money and relationships are the two things that keep people up at night, right? I mean, they worry about their love life and they worry about their money. It's just what we do. And if we can eliminate one of those things, right, we've got less to worry about. It's all about improving your quality of life. Look, money.
Absolutely.
Money is a necessary evil. We have to deal with this stuff. If we didn't, we wouldn't, but we do. And that's where you come in, Michelle, to really kind of help people and give people a clearer picture of how they can manage their money.
Exactly. And I do it in a way that there's no shame, there's no blame, there's no judgment. I've seen it all. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I've seen a lot of money lost for good reasons and bad, and I don't necessarily care. I care because I want you to feel better, but I don't care what got you there. I care about what are we going to do to get you to the next place and get you feeling better and get you sleeping at night and having some security for your future.
Yeah.
If all you're doing is working for your past, we have to turn that around, and we have to do it aggressively. And it doesn't mean filing bankruptcy. That's not my go-to answer. So I'm a bankruptcy lawyer,
right,
and I believe in preparation for bankruptcy, and I understand about how the rules work so we can plan so that you don't have to file bankruptcy. But then you can have relief, because the creditors out there will settle with you. They'll only settle with you, though, if you stop paying. There's no creditor out there that's going to believe, oh, I'm having a hard time. Could you lower my interest, please? Or I'd like to pay less. But hey, you know what? If you stop paying, and I'm not saying everybody should stop paying their credit cards. I'm saying you should do an analysis, which I will be happy to help you do.
Right.
But does it make sense to hurt my credit score by stopping payment on this outrageous credit card that I'm never going to pay back because, hey, I got it, at college when they told me to sign up for 11 different applications so that maybe you can get a Bob Marley t-shirt. Right. And that's a true story of somebody who then had 11 credit cards in college and a really expensive Bob Marley t-shirt.
Wow, that is...
You know what, if that happened to you and now you're in your maybe late 20s or early 30s and you want to start building a future, and that includes having good credit, well, we got to get rid of that old debt, because how long are you going to keep paying for mistakes that you made years ago?
Oh, he's got a cool t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, that t-shirt, man.
Michelle, this is awesome, and I want to thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. And look, I think I'm just going to have you back, because you just give us so much good information, and people really love it. And I want everybody out there, if you have any question about any of this stuff, just go to getfinanciallyfit.com and get in touch with Michelle, and she's going to get you all fixed up. She's a personal financial counselor. She's a bankruptcy attorney. She's got it all, folks, and she's here to help you. Michelle, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me this morning.
It was great. Thank you so much, Mark. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye, buddy.
You're quite welcome. So that's it, folks. I'm going to take a quick break here on Morning Coffee, but we're going to be right back. So you're not going to go anywhere. We'll see you in a minute. Thanks.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you